So 2017, we had 7 towns named Salem. Now 2024, we have 7 towns named Nineveh, Texas, Nineveh, Missouri, Nineveh, Indiana, Nineveh, Ohio, Nineveh, Pennsylvania, Nineveh, Virginia, Nineveh, New York, Nineveh. So if you keep your money in the bank, you may want to listen to this. This is pretty wild. I got an email from Noble Gold Investments, and U.S. banks filed to close 37 branches in a single week last month, with Bank of America, TD Bank, KeyBank together responsible for more than 2/3. Bank of America has emerged as a front runner in the ongoing elimination of costly brick and mortar banking locations in the United States. It said it would shut almost 160 last year and already announced 30 in the first month of 2024 alone. In another week last month, American banks said they would shutter another 41 locations. Over the past 12 months, Wells Fargo has closed 258 branches, JP Morgan Chase 165, Bank of America nearly 100, and according to the S&P Global Market Intelligence, in all, the number of bank branches in the U.S. has shrunk by more than 1/5 to just 78,000 today from nearly 100,000 in 2009. Wow. So I don't know if you keep your money in the bank, but your savings could be at risk, and the banking system is dealing with all sorts of opportunities that you might not want to deal with right now. What can you do? Well, check it out. Gold. Oh, yeah. Like, if you watch League Project, you know I'm a huge fan of gold, and you should be too. Like, there's never any guarantees, but if you look at the big banks and the MFers, you know the MFers, the money funders, they are usurping enormous amounts of gold right now. The price of gold continues to climb, and gold is outside the government's reach, and it's safe from economic policies that jeopardize your wealth. Look, you've earned it. Get some and give them a call. Noble Gold Investments. Also, if you click the link specific, leakprojectgold.com, you can get free ebooks. If you call them, 1-877-646-5347, let them know Rex from Leak Project sent you. They will gift you, if you qualify, if you convert your 401 or IRA, they will gift you a 1/4 ounce gold coin. Yeah, hello. Build your collection up. You'll thank me later. And let's get back to the podcast. The great solar eclipse of 2024. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Rex Bear, Leak Project. How the heck are you? Beautiful day today. I'm going to blow your minds. Like, my mind right now is just, wow. Check this out. Did you see the eclipse of 2017? Let's go back a few years. Actually, 7 years now. It's amazing how time flies. I saw the eclipse in Idaho, the full eclipse, 2017. I was out there, and so was Pastor Paul Begley. It was amazing. And that was a life-changing event for me, and I'm sure many others. Also, if you go back and you do the research, just a month after that event was Revelation 12. If you study Revelation 12, the description, it talks about certain planetary bodies aligned in a specific location that we see from Earth. They describe it in a metaphorical astrotheological aspect in Revelation, and that date happens. Now, you've heard the term as above, so below, so there's definitely significance here on Earth. But what's even more incredible is if you look at the U.S., the eclipse in 2017, or should I say just as incredible, the 2017 eclipse starts in Oregon, which is the 33rd state to enter the Union, and it exits in South Carolina off the 33rd degree parallel. Pretty fascinating, right? Well, let's add some flavor to this gourmet buffet of awesomeness. Let me share with you the name of 7 towns that the eclipse travels through in 2017. Are you ready? Buckle up. Salem, Oregon. Salem, Idaho, Salem, Wyoming, Salem, Nebraska, Salem, Missouri, Salem, Kentucky, and Salem, South Carolina. 33rd degree parallel, 33rd state, 7 towns named Salem. Is this not biblical? How did they know when they wrote these scriptures thousands of years ago? When the founding fathers named the towns, the cities, the states, and the nation, how did they know? Because this code goes back through scriptures, through megaliths, through petroglyphs, through teachings of the ancients, and it is all appearing to us right now. This is amazing. 7, listen to this. The path of 2017 eclipse crossed from the Pacific Northwest to southern Florida. The upcoming solar eclipse will begin traversing the continent from the southwest of the U.S., the one coming up here next month, and end in the northeast. The paths of the 2 eclipses form a transcontinental X, which is what I saw before the eclipse that just happened, the beginning of the year, and after the eclipse of 2017. I shared that vision that I had on the whiteboard. This was around 2019, 2020, when I had this vision. I saw a Mayan, what appeared to me as a Mayan guy, with an X mask on his face. And it was so profound that I wrote it on a whiteboard and I left it up for several podcasts. Like, it was so visual right in front of me. And now we're seeing it. This is amazing. Not only does the eclipse that started in 2017, not only does it go through 7 towns of Salem, but the paths of the 2 eclipses that form the X, the only spot in the path of both eclipses receiving a double dose of the eclipse, the point of the longest duration for both eclipses is a location in southern Illinois, and it's known as, you might have heard this before, Little Egypt. Now, are the coincidences becoming more and more not a coincidence to you? The Egyptian connection is so strong that there's several cities in the area named for ancient Egyptian places. Karnak, Cairo, Thebes. The 2017 eclipse was also known as the 7 Salem Eclipse because of the path through the 7 towns known as Salem. Now, Salem was the biblical name for Jerusalem before King David made it his capital. Abraham visited Malkitzedek, the king of Salem, in Genesis 14, 18 through 20. The name Malkitzedek, or Melchizedek, my king, is righteousness, hence at a belief in the God of Israel. I'm going to leave a link in the video description box for this as well. The path of the upcoming solar eclipse will cross over 7 U.S. locations named Nineveh. So, 2017, we had 7 towns named Salem. Now, 2024, we have 7 towns named Nineveh, Texas, Nineveh, Missouri, Nineveh, Indiana, Nineveh, Ohio, Nineveh, Pennsylvania, Nineveh, Virginia, Nineveh, New York, Nineveh. The eclipse is also going to cross over the locations named Nineveh, and it will go over a location named Nineveh in the province of Nova Scotia in Canada. Now, according to this, a solar eclipse known as the Segal eclipse took place June 15th, 763 BC, passing over the Assyrian capital city of Nineveh in the middle of the reign of Jeroboam II, who ruled Israel from 786 to 746. According to 2 Kings 14:25, the prophet Jonah lived and prophesied in Jeroboam's reign. The biblical scholar Donald Wiseman has speculated that the eclipse took place around when Jonah arrived in Nineveh and urged the people to repent. Now, if you remember, Jonah was eaten by a giant fish. Well, let me share with you something about the name Nineveh. Nineveh itself, the definition, if you type in Nineveh definition, something very interesting comes up. It's an ancient Assyrian city located in Upper Mesopotamia. It was the capital of the Assyrian Empire. The height of its power was the 8th and 7th centuries BC. Also, Nineveh, noun, the ancient capital of Assyria, its ruins are opposite of Mosul on the Tigris River in North Iraq. Now, there's something that has to do with fish. And there's a connection to Ishtar also. Here we go. The cuneiform for Nineveh is a fish within a house. This has led some to suggest that the name of the city comes from a goddess associated with fish. However, it seems that the name is of Hurrian origin. Maybe. I don't know. Because if we go back to the Sumerian definition of fish without a house and the possible connection with Jonah, we have some serious symbology there. And there's also, okay, so Nineveh. Jonah in the Quran is named as Du and Nun, meaning the owner of the fish, which Nun means fish. Nabi Yunus is the Arabic for prophet Jonah. And then also Ishtar. There's connections. The name Nineveh is likely related to the prefix nin or Ninna, which is often found in the names of deities. It could mean house of the goddess or house of Ishtar. Ishtar, the queen of heaven. Interesting, the differences of Ishtar, the queen of heaven, as far as symbology goes, and the fish and the waters below, unless they were at one point the same or reversed. Very interesting. Very, very interesting, the symbology here and the connections here. I'm just blown away by the names. I mean, to me, this is explaining to us, to me, this has all been forethought. This has all been planned. This was all created before us. This is as accurate as a computer simulation. This is beyond amazing that our forefathers knew this enough to put this outline with the cities and the towns. What would the percentage be of this being coincidence? This is clearly a higher power. I'm wearing the Metatron shirt that Kevin Hogan gave to me. Thank you, Kevin. This shirt is awesome. I have saved this until now. Like, I haven't worn it until now. And something said, put this shirt on. Well, when we think about the New Jerusalem and the description of the New Jerusalem and the connections with Saturn and the cube of Saturn and Metatron, the fourth dimension, the Tesseract, just some thoughts to ponder. Think about that for a bit. Let me share with you, let's take a look at the eclipse now. Are you not blown away? Wow. Because if you're not blown away, I got to step up my game, because right now, this is beyond incredible to me. So enough about that. Let's go. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to hit play right now. Go. I used to live in San Antonio. I wouldn't mind being out there for this. You can see it's moving up. It's going to go past Cleveland, leave the Niagara Falls area, then go into Canada and past Nineveh in Canada. So even Canada knows, eh? Okay. You get the idea. 2017. And then now, Little Egypt is where the X happens. How many times has this happened, right? So if we go to Revelation as an example, Revelation 12, and a great sign was seen in the heaven. This is the Young's literal translation. So it's a pretty good translation directly from the oldest scriptures that they have, which this is either Greek, pretty sure it's Greek. It might be Latin. Anyway, we'll look into that. Or just leave it in the comment section. I'm sure you'll tell me. A great sign was seen in the heaven, a woman arrayed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And being with child, she doth cry out, travailing and pain to bring forth. And there was seen another sign in the heaven. And lo, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his head 7 diadems. And his tail doth draw the third of the stars of the heaven, and he did cast them to the earth, and the dragon did stand before the woman who is about to bring forth, that when she may bring forth her child, he may devour. And she brought forth a male child who is about to rule all the nations with a rod of iron, and caught away was her child unto God and his throne. And the woman did flee to the wilderness, where she hath a place made ready from God, that there they may nourish her days 1,260. So you take that date, add it to September 23rd, 2017, you get an exact date. You look up that date, you look at the information at what was passed that day. I did a presentation with Pastor Paul Begley on this a while back. I'm doing another presentation with him this month, where I actually decoded that, and we decoded a large portion of Revelation. I mean, and you could see it. You can see how it's decoded. And if you don't agree, you're going to be like, well, I could certainly see how that would be, whether you agree or not. It's very apparent. It's kind of spooky. But anyway. And rule all the nations with a rod of iron. There's that rod of iron again. And there came war in the heaven. Michael and his messengers did war against the dragon, and the dragon did war and his messengers, and they did not prevail, nor was their place found any more in the heaven. And the great dragon was cast forth, the old serpent, who is called Devil, and the adversary, who is leading astray the whole world. He was cast forth to the earth, and his messengers were cast forth with him. But if we go back up, let's just go back to the first 3, 12, 1, 2, and 3. The great sign was seen in heaven, a woman arrayed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. Well, let's go to September 23rd, 2017, earthsky.org. The sun and the zodiac constellation Virgo, a woman clothed with the sun. The moon will be at the feet of Virgo, with the moon under her feet. Boom! It's alive! Back to Revelation 12, and then September 23rd, 2017, a month after the eclipse, which was August 21st. September 23rd, 2017, the sun will be in the zodiac constellation Virgo, a woman clothed with the sun. The moon will be at the feet of Virgo, with the moon under her feet. The 9 stars of the zodiac constellation, Leo plus 3 planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, will be at the head of Virgo. On her head, a crown of 12 stars. The planet Jupiter will be in the center of Virgo. And as the weeks pass after September 23rd, Jupiter will exit Virgo to the east, past her feet, so to speak. She was with child and and wailed aloud in pain as she labored to give birth. Jupiter is the largest of the planets, the king of the planets, so to speak. She gave birth to a son, a male child, destined to rule all the nations with an iron rod. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, the describing of Revelation 12, the description astrotheologically of the great signs in the heavens. Now, remember, metaphorically speaking, if we look at the metaphors, if we study astrotheology, if we study the metaphysics, and much of Revelation, folks, is coded. It is full of codes. It is full of metaphysics. The knowledge embedded is multi-layered. I mean, they've figured out a way to connect math and science and metaphysics and mythology and government and people's minds and the gods and the divine and the adversary. They've created this entire reality within a reality, and they've linked people's brains to this reality, which in turn brings this reality closer to your reality and our reality, because we are perceiving this and bringing it into this reality. Real it. Why? Reality. So, will there be a man in 20 years from then or now? Will there be someone that rises, that rules with an iron rod? Was there also someone born on that day that will lead in the future, that will rule in the future? I don't know. Time will tell. So Nineveh, fascinating, right? Let's go back to this. I wanted to show you this. Now, there are claims that this has only happened every few thousand. This has only happened like one other time or something, but actually they have found this is similar movements of the stars and the planets and the constellations, etc. These similar movements have happened in the past, and it wasn't just 5,000 years ago. But there was a lot of hype when this took place. Now, Salem, it's interesting, being a biblical place that refers to the holy city of Jerusalem. Salem is a gender-neutral name with origins in both Hebrew and Arabic. It can mean peaceful, safe, complete, perfect. In Hebrew, Salem means peace and has similar roots to the Hebrew word shalom. In Greek, Salem means peace and is thought to be the ancient name of Jerusalem. Now, 7 houses in the Bible. 7 is a very significant number. It appears over 700 times in the modern Bible. Yes, the Oregon became the 33rd state to join the Union. That was the eclipse of 2017. It starts in Oregon and it leaves South Carolina, 33rd parallel. So, ladies and gentlemen, hello, that's what I'm talking about, right? Pretty fascinating. I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and check back daily. We will be uploading more content daily. I've been having to just work the grind so that we can continue to have new opportunities to share, and I love sharing these opportunities with you. Really enjoy these think tank sessions because I know you're going to leave comments in the comment section that are going to make me think, and then we'll continue to connect dots. We'll continue to make improvements. We'll continue to focus on the positive. We'll continue to help as many people as we can, and we will continue to be the change the world needs to see. And I hope to see you on Patreon too. So we got some exclusive content over there. We do talk about stuff on Patreon that we only talk about on Patreon and on leakproject.com. Have a beautiful day. See you soon.